We continue in the 19th letter, a very mystical letter. We spoke about how our intelligence, there's 5 degrees of separation between that and our actions, intelligence, emotions to speech, to thought to speech to action. And there's the soul vestiture in intelligence is much more profound, loftier, greater revelation of the soul than in action. Not the value of it, but the revelation of the soul, an action, just moving your hand. It's not the same as speech, or thought, even more. Our emotions and intelligence are even greater. So in a similar manner, with the divine Chachma, that which is diffused from the divine wisdom that becomes vested in nether beings, in us, that becomes vested in us. After all, with Chachma everything is made. With divine intelligence everything is made. But that which is vested in us, that makes us, is merely an external level of Chachma. The inwardness of Chachma, it's incomparable. Because that inwardness of divine wisdom, divine Chachma, is one with the emanator, with God. And all before God is nothing, is naught. Right? So the way it is inward, totally bound up with its source. The way it is external, it gives us life. So that life that we're getting then is a very limited and finite form, because that is what is contracted from the divine wisdom to give life. So just as metaphorically speaking, the descent from intelligence to action, it's a huge descent. Right? A huge come down, so to speak, of the soul's power to express yourself in a physical, material activity. Again, a movement of a hand compared to what it means using the brain. Now, that gives us an understanding, what we just explained, of Moses. Moshe Rabbeinu. He apprehended the level of divine wisdom, only the hindmost aspect, the external aspect. Now, what does that mean? Because of that, he merited to give us the Torah. But what we got from him, from Torah, the divine wisdom, is what we call noivlos, a vestige of it, drippings of it, a contraction of it. Because it's, as we explained, the difference between action versus intelligence, right? So this divine wisdom of Torah, the external aspect of it, descends and becomes vested in physical things down here. Because the ultimate goal or core of Torah and its objective in the physical is that, this thing is kosher, this thing's not. This thing is permitted, this is not. This is pure, this is not pure. In other words, it's going to express itself in actual deed of performance. That wisdom, as it descends and reflects itself in the material physical world. And hence, we engage in a physical material world through action, right? You don't engage with a physical object through thought, through speech, but through action, right? I'm taking the pen. That's an action. So that divine wisdom is now vested itself in the physical reality of this world, that therefore we need to take action and deal with it. How? Well, is it something I can embrace or not embrace? Again, kosher, not kosher, valid, invalid, merit, demerit, pure, impure, and so on and so forth, as we learn in Maimonides' teachings, right? And in this spirit, that's what the verse says, today is to do them. Just do it, right? And that's also, as our sages taught, that the study of Torah is greater than the observance of the commandments. Why? Because it leads to their performance, because that's the ultimate purpose, is the performance of the mitzvahs. Meaning, as that divine wisdom is vested in the physical reality of this world. Similarly, it says, our sages say, that if a person learns Torah with the intent not to just do it, do the mitzvah, to fulfill the commandments that is obliged for us to fulfill, better that the afterbirth should be turned over. Something we'll learn more about. Meaning, better you weren't born. Because the whole purpose you were born is not to engage in spirituality, but to just do it. That's what Moshe Rabbeinu, why he merited to give the Torah, because the Torah, what he's giving, what he gave us, is the garment of Chachma, the external aspect of Chachma, as it drips down, so to speak, and vests itself in a material world. And Moshe Rabbeinu, that's what he gave us, to do the mitzvahs. And indeed, if we don't fulfill it in this lifetime, as the Arizal explains, meaning the observance of 613 commandments, we have to be reincarnated. So we will ultimately fulfill the mitzvahs in action. With this, now we can understand the original verse. God wraps himself with light as with a garment. So God, his divine wisdom, is the wrapping. And when he wraps himself, he places himself there, right? And that wrapping is the external aspect of Chachma, that which Moshe Rabbeinu, Moses, apprehended, and that's what he gave us, the Torah. And the external means, the way it is, we have a handle on things, and what is that? Do this, don't do that. The do's and don'ts. Which is like a garment. What's a garment? The revealed aspect. The garment, the clothes make the man. They reveal the person, right? So that's the revealed aspect of the Torah. That's revealed to us, the do's and the don'ts. But at the same time, as the verse says, in that garment there's a light. You know what that light's from? The first day of creation, that God hid. Right? Not the sun, not the sun's light, a different light, God's light, that he hid, that will be ultimately revealed in the times of Mashiach. Where's it vested? In the garment, meaning in the act that we're doing of a mitzvah. Hearing the shofar on Rosh Hashanah, putting on tefillin today, giving charity today. Whatever mitzvah it is. There's the do's and the don'ts, the garment. Inside that garment is a divine light. That is Chachma, the inner aspect of Chachma, the way it is bound up to the Creator. When will that light be revealed? That was created on the first day of creation, that was hidden away for the righteous? Times of Mashiach. That light. Today, though, we have a taste of that light. As on the eve of Shabbos, you taste the foods, so you can make sure the tasty foods that you're going to give to your family and friends at the Shabbos table. Likewise, God gives us a taste of the light that will be in times of Mashiach. You know what that is? Tanya. Chassidus is that light that is in the garment, that's hidden in the garment. Right now, that light is being revealed to us to some degree. Now we will ultimately have it fully in the times of Mashiach, but now we savor that light that's hidden, being revealed to us. That's why it's only in the later dates that it was revealed. It wasn't revealed in earlier generations, because it becomes a preparation for the ultimate time of Mashiach. So today we just do it, but at the same time, we also have a taste of that inner light. But that inner light has to bring us to do the mitzvah. For Rosh Hashanah, hearing the shofar. And all of the other mitzvahs for the Jewish people, 613 commandments, whatever the mitzvahs that we have to fulfill in a given time. Right? And of course, there's the 7 Noahide laws. Powerful. To conclude the 19th letter, it's the second part, which has some similarities to the first part of the letter. But speaking about the letters that are revealed to us in action and speech and thought. So when you look at a Torah scroll, the letters, the script of the letters in the Torah scroll, each letter reflects a flow and a unique life force and an energy field of divine energy. The distinct shape suggests what type of flow of light and energy is revealed through the letter. Now, the letters pertaining to speech, which have two components, the breath of speech, right, which allows us to vocalize, and then the 22 parts or 22 letters that are the form. There's the matter and the form. The breath brings out the matter, and the enunciation, utterance of 22 letters in any language. There's 22 different kinds of letters based on the letters of the Hebrew alphabet, but it's in all languages, no difference, right? The nature of letters and the enunciation of them. So in the letters, you have letters of thought, which means, so you have letters of, well, the alternative calls action, meaning when you're looking at the book, you see the letters, it makes an imprint in your thoughts, right? Those letters, but that's the action and thought. Then you have the letters of speech. When you hear someone, it also makes an imprint in our thoughts that we think what they say. So it's not visual, it's hearing it at that point. That's the speech in thought. And then we have the thought in thought, right? It's not based on a visual that we see the letters or we hear language, which is of letters that's spoken, that makes an imprint in our thoughts. But then we have, when we just close our eyes and we just think an idea or some thought. That's the thought in thought. Now, when we actually speak, right, actual speech comes into being by the life force of those letters that are in thought, right? Again, whether you're, because you thought them because you read them, whether because you heard them, or you just thought them on your own. What we speak is based on those thoughts. And even though sometimes a person might be thinking another thing and saying one thing, it's only because the only reason you can do that is because those that thought has already been in your mind, and therefore you might be saying something and thinking something else, right? Therefore, the words in the combination that remains in thought were there many times beforehand. Therefore, you could speak them even though you're not thinking them at the time. Now, this, in the terms of the spheros, the divine attributes, is the hindmost aspect of the externality of Netzach Hod Yisoid, as it enters into the lower realm, serving it as an intellective faculty of Meichen, the life force as is known. Kabbalistic. Okay. So that's a conclusion of the 19th letter. Any questions, any comments, any thoughts? Now's the time to put up questions, if you have.